Hey everyone, thank you for choosing to spend time out of your day to listen to today's episode. I'm your host, Zachary Aird, and let's get this playing. So tonight's guest is Elijah Simmons, and his middle name, Elijah Versatile
Simmons.
Yeah. And I didn't know that till this year, that your middle name, I thought it was just like your Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was just your Instagram bio, Versatile.
Yeah, I actually get that a lot, though. Everybody, like,
I thought it was fake.
Did I tell Versatile is my middle name? They were like,
yeah.
no,
So
there's no way.
Props to Agent Simmons.
Agent Simmons, man.
For that lob of a great middle name.
Yeah.
Because mine's Michael. But
That's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's a goat name.
That's goated.
So,
that's my dad's name, Michael Simmons.
Oh, that's your dad's
goated,
name?
yeah.
Oh, well, he goes by Agent Simmons. So.
Yeah, we'll call him Agent Simmons.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have said his name because he's an agent.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right, so yeah, just tell the audience who you are and what you're doing and why we're in a hotel together.
So my name's Elijah Simmons on the OUAZ Ottawa Spirits men's basketball team. This is my 5th year now, and I still have a year of eligibility, which is crazy. So I'll be a 6-year senior.
And you're the same age as me, and you still started early.
Yeah, I started college at 17, graduated high school at 17. Freshman playing college basketball, 17 years old, was a tough transition, both school-wise and athletics-wise, but yeah, so going into my 5th year studying leadership management. I'm in my master's now. Thankfully, in my 5th year, I have started my master's and finish that up next year.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet because that's what I'm trying to get into. And, you know, all throughout here, I'd been asking you, like, oh, is it homework hard? Or, you know, like online stuff, is it easy? Like, you know, you gave me little hints there and there, but.
Yeah, luckily, I wouldn't say the master's program has been, a cakewalk, but having gone to school for 4 years, I was kind of used to the online stuff anyway because the last 2 years, my junior and senior year, I switched mostly to online classes anyway. And then the master's program at Ottawa is all online, obviously. So I've been able to get through my master's stuff pretty easily, and it's more enjoyable, I think, the master's program because a little bit older, matured, and realizing that, not very many people are fortunate enough to get a master's, and I'll be graduating at 23 with a master's, which is crazy. So, very fortunate.
Yeah, that's next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this year.
Yeah, no next year.
Next year.
Next year I'll be, because I'm about to turn 22 in just a month, and then.
Yeah, by the time you turn 20, almost 23, you're going to have a master's, which is pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That's a big achievement.
I can wait, but I can't wait at the same time. Yeah.
And then, of course, like basketball, you'll be transitioning into a new chapter.
Yeah.
And whatever that takes you.
Yeah, exactly. Basketball is, I wouldn't say it's coming to an end, but it's time to start, thinking about what the future with basketball is going to be. I have 1 year of basketball guaranteed left, so going to be seeing where that next chapter leads here pretty soon.
Okay. So I want to kind of start like through your childhood and like what inspired you to play basketball. And I've been asking like other guys, like, was it a mentor? Was it a coach? Was it your dad? Mom, like someone that was just there for you. So I just want to start off by like, giving an athlete's perspective of like how you started your sport and why you made it to college.
So it's crazy because basketball wasn't the first sport. What
was it?
I'd probably say I was going to start football in high school, which is I am so glad I obviously didn't, especially at the college level now. Like, I would not be playing football, especially like for 5 years. Like, I've been playing basketball.
Longevity in football is not there.
Going through middle school, I was playing flag football. It wasn't even real football. I hadn't started real football yet. Been playing flag football. I played baseball a little bit early years of middle school, but flag football, transitioning into tackle football, my dad was like, no, not happening. Especially because, like I said, I'd never played tackle football or anything like that before. And I was going my freshman year at 14, turning 15 because I was so young.
Yeah.
And I was ready to start for the football team. My dad was like, no, that's not happening. And so
why did he say no to that?
Well, mainly it was because of his experience. He knew, like, me had never playing tackle football before, and I think it was more of just the safety concern of being so young, just going right into tackle football, having never played before. And he was like, I think you're going to be, Dad's like, you're going to be a great athlete someday. Like, I don't think football's going to be it. Yeah. And it took a lot. Obviously, my mom was also like, no, like,
protective mom.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
play.
Yeah. both of
No
them were like,
foosball.
yeah, both of them were like, let's go into something else. And baseball hadn't really been working out for me, and so believe it or not, I mean, you know how great of an athlete I am now.
Oh yeah, I know.
You
say you know how great of an athlete.
My freshman year is when I started playing basketball, like for the first time. Tried out, eighth grade year is when I started playing basketball officially, and then that's when I decided to go with that into high school. Mm-hmm. And so, going to Arcadia and eighth grade year, I got cut from the basketball team. Having that been my first year playing basketball, that summer was when I took the jump in my game, exactly like, you know, I was obviously going through puberty at that time and getting a little bit bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. And I was training hard for basketball because I knew that's what I was going to play in high school instead of football. And so I go to Arcadia High School, going to Ingleside. It was kind of like Ingleside Middle School. That was like kind of like a pair. So like most people that went to Ingleside always like went to Arcadia. Mm-hmm. So I went to Arcadia, went with all my friends and whatnot, and I got cut from that team as well. And, you know, the coaches told me, he was like, you're on the bubble for, you know, the guys that we were going to keep or you know, get rid of or whatever.
The same old talk of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. and that was heartbreaking because I was honestly, I was pretty upset at my dad at the time because I was like.
You put me in this
kind
of spot.
Like I was almost like, I felt like I didn't like get like the fair chance of, you know, getting into a sport that I knew I was good at least. Yep. And so then the year to come up, wasn't even athletics at Arcadia at that point. I had also failed like my first class at Arcadia, which, you know, I'm a great student now, and I can never see myself like failing a class ever again. So failing that first class, my dad and I decided it was time to move on, look for somewhere else to
see
go.
a different perspective.
Yeah. And so we wanted to stay with basketball, which is when I found Rancho Solano, and that transition from obviously Rancho Solano is in Scottsdale, it's a prep school.
Yeah, and that's close to Arcadia.
Yeah, not too far from Arcadia, and it was just like it was so much better of a situation there with everything, the academics, some of the stuff I was going through at Arcadia with like, you know, my friends, and I wasn't getting along with some of the people there. It was just a much better situation there, student, academic wise, and then basketball wise. That to be honest, the team wasn't very good that year.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that. My dad and I both felt like that was, you know, the start for me to really jumpstart my career in basketball. I was like, the team's not that great.
In.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing. Literally, I was playing like all the minutes at Arcadia or at Rancho. So that jump to the basketball is what really jump-started my game. And so going through the Rancho Solano, academics obviously was much better. Basketball was much better, and that's when my game started to just take off rapidly.
Yeah.
Right. So that was my sophomore year. I was still 15 years old, starting on a varsity team, which was
should be a freshman.
Yeah, it
coming
was.
In.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it wasn't easy under any like circumstance because being that young, playing that many minutes, you know, there was a lot of things that I was dealing with like mentally. Like I was trying not to like. Just trying to stay humble, you know, trying to learn how to develop my leadership skills with that team because the team wasn't very good. But
they're kind of looking at you to
be like, yeah, exactly. The coach was my coach, Coach Aaron Trigg, at the time. You know, he's not working with the greatest of talent that year. And, you know, he kind of took that, I guess you'd say that leap of faith with, you know, he's like, come over here to Rancho. It's a much better situation. I think you would like it much more here. So that's exactly what I did. Junior and senior year there was fantastic. I mean,
I know you won one. When was that?
Yeah, we won that my senior year. So
way to just like leave your mark.
Yeah, it was the perfect story. I mean, junior year we lose in the semifinals before we even get all the way. We lose semifinals.
And who was that? Who'd you guys lose to?
I think we lost to Alchese, which is the team that we ended up beating the next year. For it all. So I'm almost 100% sure we played them in the semifinals. Talent-wise, we had it, obviously, to go all the way. I don't think mentally we were ready for that game. You know, we get out there, there's thousands of fans. It's in the, like, I think the Prescott or I think it's in the Prescott, like, big stadium, and it's all their fans.
Like a dome? I don't think it's a dome.
Yeah, it's like a dome. There's thousands of people in there, and, you know,
It's like the Native American.
Yes.
Reservation.
It's a reservation. Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So they were all there, and I remember going on the court. We were shooken up. We weren't ready for the big time for that game, and so we fought, we battled, didn't win it out. Go back, same exact, not same exact situation, but almost the same situation, except we have them in the final, the last game, the game that matters, and we had picked up a couple of other transfers that had came to our school because they also had some difficulties at their school. They weren't playing. They came and played with us. Our team was just too stacked, too together, too united. We were ready for that game, and we put it on them. And so,
how did you guys win by, or was it a close game? Or you don't? Remember?
I think
about like 5
I think
years ago.
it wasn't by too much. I want to say maybe like 9 or 9 to 12 somewhere.
It's like not too much, 40.
No, we were up pretty big, and then they had hit a decent amount of shots towards the end of the stretch, and then I think it ended up being like 9-12 somewhere in there, like that. Yeah.
So you kind of brought up like age as a big thing, and for me, I've always like played my age group, and so seeing like coming into Ottawa, it was like, you know, the practice squad playing against 24-year-old. You know what I mean? Like I was only 18.
Yeah.
So like I relate to you through that because you got it early in high school.
Yeah.
Whereas for me in high school, I was playing against my age. Like, you know, when I was younger, I played up, but like, you know, high school, I got to that point where I wasn't playing up.
Yeah.
So then when I got to college, it was like a struck. Like, how old are you? You're 23, and I'm only 18. Like, you know, just the different bodies and different, like you were saying, puberty. Just
yeah.
You know, like they're done with puberty, and I guess
I
don't know what to explain, but like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a little boy.
Yeah, literally, and especially like when I made the jump from high school to college. I mean, I was 17 playing with people that were like 22, 23, much older than me. Especially that freshman year coming to Ottawa, like that team was way different than, you know, the guys that only were a year older than me or the same age as me. You know, so it's a jump. It is, both physically and maturity-wise. It's a jump.
Yeah. How was your dad in the development of, like, who you are? Because I know you kind of, like, as a kid, like, who wouldn't blame their dad in that situation? Like, come on, like, you knew what sport I liked. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But how was your dad helpful in, like, realizing, like, let's put you in a different perspective. Let's make you see a different journey.
So, I mean, my dad kind of, you know, and I commend my dad for this because at the time I'm always like, yeah, at the time I'm like, Dad, just let me do like what I want to do. But
us teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, my dad and my mom as well. They both were. They played a big part in making sure that I was doing what I wanted to do, but they knew what was going to be keeping me safe. You know, they grew up and they had their own experiences in these things. So both my mom and dad played basketball in high school. And
I didn't know your mom played.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She was a hooper. I wore her number my freshman year. I wore 21.
21?
Yeah. 21.
Yeah. And then your dad played too? Were
Yeah.
they both playing in Arizona? Or?
No, they were playing. I don't know exactly where they were playing. They were playing in Arizona. They're playing over on the East Coast, though. I know for sure.
And your dad, was he a hooper?
Oh, yeah.
I know sometimes he's in the gym.
Yeah.
Like shooting with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know, because you guys look like twins. Like if you didn't have an afro, you guys look like twins. So I was just
he had the fro when he
Yeah.
was my age. He had that fro, yeah.
Because one time it was my freshman year, and I remember like I was brought up, so I was like, you know, with you guys, I was with the guys, and I remember you being in the gym early with your dad, but I didn't know that was your dad. I thought you were just shooting with like a random professor or something, and I was like, man, this guy's got a low key a jump shot, and I was like, it was weirding me out, like there's a professor on our campus, and then I finally, you know, years down the road, I'm like, oh, that's Agent Simmons.
Yeah,
so.
my dad and mom were both hoopers, and my dad especially, I'm pretty sure he played a little bit longer than my mom did, but you know, I get a lot of my game and teaching from him. So yeah, a lot of what you see me doing today is from him.
So that little jump hook or your little
jump
spin
hook,
around.
mid-range pull-ups, that's all Agent Simmons right there.
I'm like, Jesus, what is he doing? Or,
literally,
you know, and I'm like, because there's days where I don't think it's Agent Simmons. I think it's like Kobe Simmons. And I'm like,
if I get it going, maybe, yeah.
Because there's a drill that we do. I could say this, right? I could say what drill we do. It's called the 7 drill.
7 drill.
Yep, and it's first team to 7, but we're on offense the whole time.
That's right.
So once Eli hears that we're on offense the whole time, he says, "I'm not passing the ball. Like we're gonna get to 7.
It's time to get 7.
Like he'll hit the first 3, and we'll be a 3-0.
Yeah.
Right. But then right after that, he's like, "Okay, you guys get your shots in." Right. Like You know, Zach, you go shoot your corner three. Evan, you come off the screen.
Yeah.
But after that, nope. Just give him the ball and get out the way. So, you know that.
I'm trying to win that drill, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to win that drill.
I'm trying to win.
Yeah, you can take that drill. I'll take another one. But yeah, like that just explains who you are as a basketball player. Is like you're gonna go downhill and you're gonna go get that bucket.
Yeah.
Like, you don't care who's in front of you.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of the mindset you gotta have, especially at the college level, man.
Yeah, if you're gonna lay down, I guess don't do it.
No. Yeah.
So you talked about earlier about kind of like ending your chapter and like let's see what basketball. Mm-hmm. So if basketball does end after next year, what do you want people on the team or future teams to remember you as?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because we have alumni and we're like, oh, that kid was good, or oh, that was a goofy kid. Like we all have a certain thing we say about, and what's something you want 5 years from now, someone on Coach Keeley's team making a podcast and they're talking about Elijah Simmons. What would you want them to be talking about?
I think this might be unique, and it's pun intended, but something about me. Oh, yeah, that's good too.
Okay.
I was gonna say something.
I'm versatile, man.
I should have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
No, I think the biggest thing I would say is like the team and even my like family and friends. 5 years from now, I stop hooping, and I think of like the alumni that come. My high school. I'm obviously an alumni of my high school. I go to their games sometimes, and I see the coaches and players. I think for, where I see it being best and, what the perfect image in my head is, I would want people to remember me as like I guess I'd say like supportive, or I guess like it's really just the word supportive is the best I could say it. Because
like that you were always there.
Yeah, always there in the sense that it's like you could rely on me for anything with no matter what it is. I feel like I'm pretty easygoing and approachable with.
You're definitely an open book.
Yeah, and I try to just, lift people's days up. I feel like I get a pretty good feel for like understanding when people, need space or when they need comforting or, when they need, pat on the rear end or whatever it is. And so I guess if I was an alumni coming back to an Ottawa game or whatever, I'd want, Coach Keeley to say, he's the guy that you could lean on, no matter what it is, because I feel like I'm pretty versatile and things like that.
Yeah, you're versatile.
Yeah, and
you gotta live by it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the person too where somebody has a problem, and this is a person that I care about, which is a lot of people. I care about a lot of people and making sure that they're okay. And if I don't know the answer, like I'm going to help you understand how to get to the answer and help me. Like I want to be able to understand the answer too. We should both be figuring this out,
Yeah.
And
it's a team effort.
Yeah. I want us to be able to take that information and bring it on to the next generation, whoever else is going to need it down the road. We should both just be growing as individuals. And so,
I like that.
Fairly recently, I mean, this, it's a good thing we're doing this now. 'Cause like, I'm just thinking about this stuff like recently. If we did this a couple months ago, I'd probably wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say. But more recently, I've been trying to, understand myself in the sense that I should always be gaining knowledge and understanding of how to help other people, not just for myself. I mean, realistically, it's for myself, but it's for other people. Like, because I do like a little insecurity, but like I don't want to be embarrassed of something I don't know. But I'm really good at like, not shielding it, but I'm like, okay, I don't understand, but why don't we both figure this out,
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a concept I've gained, fairly recently, not too long ago, is, the want to of understanding things that I don't understand, things that other people don't understand. Well, let's both figure it out. Let's both learn it together, so that we can both grow as people,
Yeah, instead of burning a bridge and like, not trying to communicate.
Yeah.
And I like that you said that you have been liking that you've been noticing people's not behaviors but their emotions. And I'm the same way as like someone's having a bad practice, like what led to that bad practice. Like I'm just that type of person to be like reading emotions in the room, or someone comes in the locker room sad, or a classroom and someone random walks in, I could read what's going on with them and just the body cues and the behaviors. And I just like that you said that, because like people need that on teams so that the coach's staff can't just be the only people that are the ones regulating everyone's emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
it has to be, especially on a college team. Like I can see it on a middle school team, a high school team,
Mm-hmm.
but especially on the college team where you're adults and you can figure out with yourself, just like you're explaining right now.
Yeah.
Of like learn it together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, if there's a new offense being displayed, learn it together. Like don't disregard the fact that it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean,
yeah.
And you know, at that age where, you know, these are the adults, these are grown men now, you know, it gets hard to hear from the same person, you know, that's technically not your dad or not, you know, a mentor, you know, like it's your coach. And, you know, obviously people have different relationships with their coach, but having that player and a couple players, you know, if you obviously have a roster full of those guys.
Yeah, and I feel like we do.
Like,
we have a pretty good job of, you know, we can come together real fast.
Yeah.
As Joe's staring at me as he's going to go crazy tomorrow in the stands.
That's right.
Like, Joe, get back over. Like, you and me are the ones that are trying to be like, trying to put Joe in handcuffs.
We're trying to
like,
reel that guy back in place.
Yeah, that's the guy we're trying to talk about. But, yeah. So it's just funny because, you know, Joe jokes around about it, but he deep down, he knows.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't have to worry about it.
It's not something that gets, you know, fixed overnight. Or
Yeah.
like that. Like it's
definitely happens over.
And you want guys that, like we were just talking about, that are willing to go through that process of understanding it. Like we were just saying, like understanding how to learn and adapt and do those things that you want to do for yourself.
Yep.
You know,
and I think it comes from me, from my struggles of like, you know, not seeing time on the court and being like, I could do different things than play.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Dev about it, and like just like by giving off energy or, you know, giving someone a high five, like it's so powerful to just give someone a high five when they don't want to give one or they don't think they receive one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's special of how a team bonds because really like 6 people play, 7 people play, and there's a 12-man roster.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, there's gonna be guys that they can't just do it alone, is what I'm saying, and
exactly
they need the people around them to build team unity. So
that's exactly right.
Yep. So I like that you said that because.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, versatile.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's just special. And that leads to my next question. Do you believe that you're generally in the present or in the past? Because knowing you've been through like major injuries, you've been, you know, ups and downs. Like I've been here almost the same time as you, and I've seen you fluctuate. And it's like, you know, it's just human nature of you're going to go through it.
Yeah.
And some people just don't go through it, and some people do. So I just want to hear, like, if you're generally in the present, because I know I've had injuries, and it's hard to get stuck through those dog days of, like, rehab, you know, next day.
Yeah, literally. That was, I mean, to add on to the ACL, you know, rehab story, that I think that's when I learned that I needed to live my days more in the present than the future, because early days of my rehab, obviously, I mean, anybody that goes through an injury is looking forward to being done with it, literally.
Yeah, it's just, get me out of here.
It's awful. And so when I, you know, came back, I decided to redshirt that year because I still didn't feel like I was physically ready.
Yep.
You know, I wasn't comfortable with the need. That process of going through that redshirt year is, I think, when I learned to just be present in that day, you know,
enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Like you get to feel emotions through your body. You know what I'm talking about? You get to feel like what your body is feeling, and some people don't even get to feel their legs.
They don't get to feel it at all.
Yeah, and you get to feel like that it's gonna be okay one day, just how you are right now, dunking a basketball. If I told you you're dunking a basketball 2 years ago, you wouldn't believe me.
No,
you would be like in the weight room. I mean, in the training room, like, be quiet, Zach.
I knew. I kind of took the understanding that what I wanted in my future, you know, I keep saying I want to just fast forward to the future. I said, okay, well, how am I going to get there? You know, I got to set the steps. I got to set the milestones, you know, and that all starts with one day at a time. Literally, it's not even one day at a time. It's 1 minute. It's 1 hour at a time. Like
how serious can you take that hour of rehab?
Yeah, that's how small I was, like breaking down my rehab process was, you know, all right, in an hour, I'm going to do this part of my rehab, this. I want to make sure I'm doing this in this hour. Making sure I was eating right, making sure I was doing extra stretches after eating, you know, like I was planning my rehab process so precise. And, you know, it's kind of more of what I do today. I've kind of adapted that style of living more present in the days. at the time I was a little crazy during my rehab, like obviously mentally.
There's some dog days. Of course you would have that. And we would understand why you're having that, because anyone that goes through an injury understands.
Yeah. And so, I definitely live more in the present than I do future. And main reason is because I know the future doesn't happen without the present days. You got to go by every single day, every single hour. So,
damn, you're deep. That was a good quote right there. But yeah, so because by injuries, we're never that serious. Like, I've only done the meniscus, and it's not that serious. But like, just 3 months off of the game is like detrimental to your emotion of like, okay, yeah, you get to play video games now, you get to chill, but then really that's not what you want to do. Like, you'd rather be healthy playing video games than hurt video games, because you feel like you're getting a step behind, and when in reality, like, no one's competing. Like, you know what I'm talking about? And I used to love that summer you could barely work out with us because it was me, Jerry, and Jake, and we were working out, and then we would see you after, because while we were doing that hour, you were doing that hour in the rehab. And it kind of inspired us to be like, no, we got to be here with Eli too. Like, we would wait for you, or you would wait for us after the weight room. Remember, you would finish so early, and we had to do conditioning. And you watching from the sideline, like, I know our conditioning sucks, but you probably were like, I want to be healthy. Like, I wish I had Zach's knees, probably not my knees. I wish I had Jake's knees or Jerry's knees at the moment. Like, you know what I'm talking about? And you played with us, like, 2v2 sometimes, and you still were killing us. And I was like, how didn't this guy... Like, that's what used to make me mad. I was like, how is this guy beating me one-on-one when he just tore his AC? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what I was going through. I was like... And then I had to come to realization, like, man, this guy's versatile. This doesn't say it in his bio for no reason.
Those dog days were tough, man. But I think, when you go through things like that, it definitely instills a little bit more of grit. Like, I don't even look at, like, a lot of things on the court the same. As far as like having to do like a quick 22 or a down and back or whatever it is, coach yells at me. Like, I'm just glad to be out there because I know what it was like to be off the court.
That was a big shift that I had, because my freshman year, I used to be so scared of like our Utahs. Like, all day I would go around like thinking like, bro, we got to do Utah. But I mean, our Utahs was like 16 of them.
Granted, it was pretty rough.
It was rough, but still, like, just being a freshman, I was always in the future of like, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this. Like, just thinking about practice every day. When now I'm just like, when practice comes, it's going to come. Like, when that time comes, it's going to come. And now I'm just like, we're hooping with the guys. It's just.
Literally. I mean,
like, it's fun now. Like, Utahs and Get-ems, they're not. I mean, sometimes, we joke around, they're tiring. But, like, when you're done with it, you're like, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
So there's a level of maturity that comes with, living in the present. Even with not even, like, playing that many minutes on this great team. Like, I'm still excited to go to practice. I'm excited to go on these trips, go cheer the guys on in the game. If I get in, that's great. I'm ready to go. But I'm just excited to be here. And it's like the best. Like, last night, we just beat Menlo, and it's like the best feeling because our practice, we were locked in. And, like, they were getting mad that we were scoring on them. But in reality, we were doing better than what Menlo was doing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's a different level of maturity of saying, like, we're going to be locked in for you guys to be out there and go get ready. Like, like, get ready for war. Not war in a sense. I'm not trying to say that. But get ready for the battle that's going to happen tomorrow because we led you to that. And it's such a good feeling of, like, when we execute stuff and then seeing the other team do it, and our team just turns on that switch of, like, I know what your play is. I know what you're doing. I know your mannerisms of what certain player is going to do. Like, I just think that's so special about our team this year, and how just a level of maturity, like you said, have we grown. Now we have 8 seniors, I think, 6 seniors, and just having you guys have you've been on the team the most, the longest, and then other guys are going to be with you next year they're going to have 2 years on their belt, 3 years on the belt. And that level of maturity goes a long way, because that's what's going to uplift you through the season. And you need that as a group. Otherwise,
because that's going to end real fast if you don't.
Exactly.
You're not going to make it to that jump, because that jump was fun last year. And I'm hoping this year it's even a bigger jump. Because last year we were rolling, and this year we're about to start rolling. Is what I say.
Again, it's about that time.
This is definitely going to be it. So I know you said your injuries, and I know injuries are a hard thing to go through. But if it's the same, that's okay. But what's something that was the hardest that you've ever gone through, like athlete, person-wise, or just like a maturity, like you're saying, wise, and how'd you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, obviously, we were just talking about it was the injury, but I think, like we talked about, that jump from, the high school level to the college level at such a young age, because not only was the athletics tougher, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but the academics was tough too. And I mean, Ottawa's not a super hard school, but even at the prep school at my high school, I was doing, advanced IB classes, and I felt like I was ready for the college work. And it wasn't even just like the college work, but it was also the time management that came with being an athlete. And at the time I was like living in Scottsdale still, and obviously Ottawa's in Surprise.
Oh, so you're in Scottsdale, kind of your freshman, sophomore year?
My freshman year, about first semester, when we're doing like conditioning, getting the rotations,
like the 5 a.m.s. And it was at a high school.
Yeah, at a high school further in Surprise, so it's even further past Ottawa. I was driving like about 55 minutes if I was lucky without traffic at that early in the morning for conditioning on the track.
Yeah,
at a high school. Yeah, so I think that was, I mean, I was pretty low as far as like my confidence in, do I even want to keep playing basketball? I live across the state going to the school just to run on a track, not knowing as a freshman, 17 years old, if I'm going to be playing like with this unit at all. And so that jump, obviously the athletics wise, guys are bigger, faster, stronger. And I had only been playing basketball for realistically 3-4 years at that point. So I think that jump, as far as the time management, and I felt like the overload on my mental and physical, obviously, was tough. And so I needed to start understanding how to manage my time a little bit better. And I think I did that pretty good around my sophomore year. I mean, that's when I was playing the best basketball I was before I got injured. I think I took a big jump from that freshman summer over into my sophomore year.
Because I saw you... Or that's when I came in your sophomore year, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you were just dunk. I remember like the Benedictine dunk, like those kind of dunks where I was like, Jesus, this is who I got to go up against in practice. It's basically what I was saying. And there's like a little story that I have with you when we had Willow Canyon open gyms. And I technically was a recruit, but I was like those kids that were just going to the open gyms. Like I would be texting like Coach Keeley and being, when's open gym? Like, I'm trying to get an offer. Yeah. And
where the runs at?
Yeah, where the runs. Literally, they're like at Willow Canyon. I was like, what? Like
Willow Canyon?
Yeah, at the park, or I was just like, outside on the track.
Yeah, literally.
But it was just funny because I didn't know where to go, and you remember the bars that were in front of the gym?
Yeah.
And I remember like pacing because I was like, I was nervous because college, it's everything that you've ever wanted, and it's on the other side of the door, but I don't know what door to go through. And I remember just seeing you, skinny Elijah, like with a little afro. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, I was like, who is this guy walking? But you didn't tell me hi. You didn't, you were that big dog. So I was like, oh, this guy's locked. I'm going to go after him. Later, come find out, I remember we just lost. We lost. So you know how you have to wait a game? Yeah. So, later in the open gym, and I think it was like the last game because I remember taking my shoes off. And you had just ripped through and dunked. I always tell you this, but you dunked on someone, but it was bad. It was bad. It was like, I don't know. I don't remember who it was or who it was on, but it was those open gyms. Those open gyms were so like
action-packed.
Yeah, action-packed, but it was like nasty because I was like, man, I don't want to be here. Like that's how I was thinking. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like my first couple open runs at Ottawa. It was with dudes that like weren't even thinking of going to Ottawa. Like,
yeah, it was like random.
yeah, like random guys.
Like just Coach Hepker and them were just
Yeah,
finding off the
literally.
street. I was like, who am I playing against?
It literally felt like just like random dudes
Yeah.
were pulled up onto
And
the gym.
because the second open gym, I don't know if you were there or not, but it was the second open gym, and I've like shot the best that I ever shot, like in my whole entire life. But it was random people that I knew at Lifetime that were at this open gym, so I felt so comfortable.
Yeah.
I was playing like I was at Lifetime. So Keely was probably like, "Hey, who is this?" Like, you know, and I was just like, "No, this is not how I like this. I'm not bringing up the ball. I'm not."
Yeah.
But it was like guys that I knew that made me more comfortable, and then they left, and I was like, "Oh shoot, now I'm back with, you know, like these are the guys who are on the team."
Yeah.
Because the second open gym, I was like, 30 guys. This is like the roster.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of guys. Are
you know,
pulling
and then you
those
start
runs.
having that little comparison game of like, okay, I'm better than him, or he's better than
Yeah.
me, like, you know, just like the little college,
Yeah.
little games that you play
That's right.
in your brain. But yeah, it was hard because, you know, you get there and Hepker starts making the teams. It's like the J-Law open gyms where they're like,
Yeah.
Zachary, Eli, D,
Yeah, literally.
like saying that, and I'm like, oh man, you know, like, oh, this is my team. Like, there's no way, like,
No
and
way
then they
Coach
would
got me
always
with these
they
guys.
would always stack you guys up with
Yeah.
like you, Jake, D,
Have a
Day, and I was like,
Elite 5 squad
bro,
for
I
open
cannot.
runs. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I remember you guys would come off like a double stack on the
Coming
block.
off like staggers and flops.
Yeah,
and
but
sets.
we were so small. My team was so small that you guys would just throw it overhead during check, and I was like, "This isn't fair."
we were cheating those open gyms. for
Yeah,
sure.
and D is what started the whole cherry pick
yeah.
thingy to
cherry
get back
pick
to half
stigma,
because he would
yeah.
just.
Yeah.
Oh my god, game point. That's what pissed me off. Game point, cherry pick. I'm like, come on, D. Like, just get back on D.
Game point,
please.
Demetrius is on the opposite block still.
Yeah, he might have guard. I mean, I guess the guy on my team should have finished the layup,
Yeah, he probably
but
should've.
still, D's on the other side under the rim about to get a free 2 points. So that was
Yeah.
my story.
Those were them Ottawa open gyms back then, man.
And it's so hard because, I mean, you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel because Ottawa was still building.
Mm-hmm.
But like I came in, I think like the summer and then 2 months of like, dang, this is where you guys play.
Yeah.
And then finally like the gym got built and everything. So it was nice because I can't imagine it still being like at a high school right now.
No, I couldn't
It was
imagine
horrible
at all.
because like those summer workouts and stuff was just like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my freshman year, I kind of it was the only serious offer that I had, and you know, Coach Keeley takes me up to the top of the parking gym, and I'm looking
Yep,
over.
he did that to me too. I was like,
the
what
dirt,
is this?
the dirt
you
horizon.
just see the football field in the middle of the dirt area.
the dirt horizon of surprise, Arizona.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
He says,
there.
"You see that orange flag?
Yeah, he's
That's the gym."
about,
I'm like,
10
what?
yards north of that, we'll have a gym.
Yeah,
there,
I wasn't
so.
even listening. I said, "Dad, this is not where we're going." And look at me now. I'm at a hotel with Ottawa. Yeah, because the other offer that I had was like Benedictine, and I was like, I'm not going to Benedictine.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a gym at all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where do you guys get shots up? And they're like, the local LA Fitness. And I said,
Fitness right up the street.
yeah, I said, huh? Like what, the old heads?
We're
And they're like,
signing
yeah.
the waivers every day to get in.
Yeah, 10-day or you got to sign the 18-year-old.
It's good for 10 days.
Yes, and then I kind of realized like Ottawa, because that's the good thing about Coach Keeley is like when I came on the visit, it was like, you know how Keeley is. He's like not big headed.
Yeah.
He's not that type of dude. So it just felt like special because like the other schools that I went to, it was like, we won this, we won. I mean, because Ottawa wasn't really winning.
Yeah.
But like Coach Keeley was just talking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He was just being like
Kinda
a
let
sponge.
you know exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like
How it is, and this is
yeah.
what's gonna happen. This is your path that we're thinking, and I just took that and I was like, okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And it just fit perfect. Like surprise, it's close, it's something new. You know, it was special. So I don't know if that's how yours went, but yeah,
was.
that story of like, I think I was the last year to get that kind of talk of like, oh, that's the dirt area, and it was on the third floor of the parking garage.
Yeah.
And now looking like if we went back up there, it's like it's all built now.
Yeah.
And then when we come back 10 years from now,
It might be massive.
it might be massive. It might be,
big time.
yeah. we might be
proud.
we might be the foundation of like,
Yeah.
you know, those are my guys.
I'll be proud though. I'd be so proud.
Yeah.
I would.
It's definitely going to be like you drive past 20 years from now, you're like, son, I was on that.
Yeah. See that, son?
Remember Uncle Versatile? He was on that team with me. I told you got to a spot. Yeah, but like that's the thing. I'm like, okay, yeah. Like that's the type of maturity that I'm at. I'm like, yeah, I get to tell my kids I did this and this. Like they're not gonna believe me when I played college basketball. Like, you didn't play, Grandpa, come on, or Tata, you didn't play. And I was like, no, trust me, I got that shot on me. Yeah. So I
was killing things in that 7 drill.
Yeah. Like I said, Uncle Versatile just gave it to me. You know, if he ever looked at me, he knew it was a knockdown. So yeah, it's like that kind of level of maturity. And coming from a Coach Keeley, being like his 3rd year, he could have like lied and said, "Oh, this is gonna happen."
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the only thing that he did say that was a lie is that we were all getting key cards that will like unlock everything.
Yeah.
And that never I don't think that's
technically that might be out of his control though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That might be out of his
So
control.
if he's listening, yeah, I mean,
need
it's gonna
my
be
key
late
card.
now. It's gonna be late now because by then I should be a coach for the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will have a key card, but I think because if
make
they
me
get
a duplicate of that.
Yeah,
I don't get
I'm
that on the record.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one. Hey Zach, let me in. But yeah, because if everyone had a key card, that would be. Just think about what's going on now.
It was just basketball. Just basketball.
Yeah, like it only opens your door.
Men's and women's basketball opens certain doors. I feel like it's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
You could even go with football. Football opens.
Yeah, or a code on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of calling security, can you come open the door? Or
security don't want to hear from us.
Yeah, tell your coach. Or they used to be like, I used to feel like Jeremy Lin. Did you ever hear the story about Jeremy Lin going off and then going to the LA Lakers game?
I think so, yeah.
The security guard didn't recognize him?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I went with my dad. It was like the worst thing because I was like, I'm on the team.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then my dad's with me. Like, I wouldn't bring a random guy with me to the gym.
Yeah.
So, like, the security guard kind of, like, looked me up and down and was like, what sport do you play? And I, like, because then I knew what he was thinking. I was like, should I say soccer or should I say? So I was like, basketball. And he was like.
Is this a trick question?
Yeah. He was like looking at me. I was like, that. But then when he opened the door, he walked me in just to be like, okay, I know what you're doing. So I grabbed the balls, you know, everything went fine. But it was just like that, like, come on, bro, you know my name. Like, my name should be on your forehead.
Yeah, literally. Man, a couple of the security guards, I miss them. They're gone. The ones that were letting me in, especially like during the rehab, like the rehab process I was going through, they were letting me in all the time.
Man, one of them gave me their keys.
Yeah,
no, just kidding. No,
actually, I got one.
They're gonna get fired if I said that. Oh, he didn't give you his car, the little golf cart. He gave me that.
I actually got my own cart.
Yeah, my name's on the cart. So. I guess I could ask you this question. And I had it ready.
Oh, no.
And it said, how much control does a person have over their life? And I guess you kind of answered it because what you did. But how much does a person have control over their life? How much control does a person have over their life is what I'm asking.
Technically, I mean, from my perspective, as, you know, I would think you have full control over it, right? It's all in God's plan, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my perspective. So whatever's supposed to happen is already set. It's fate. It's destined. It's what's destined to happen.
Ooh, that leads me to another one. But go finish.
I mean,
I'm about to keep myself.
So you control, but I feel like the feelings and the ideas that you get about yourself, you know, you tell yourself, I'm going to make these things happen, and at the end of the day, if you make them happen, you have that perspective of you having full control of yourself and your life and what you want to achieve is obviously correct.
Yep.
Obviously, you and I both can probably agree. Like, we've had ideas and perspectives and ideas that we should, you know, do for ourselves or accomplish, and then they're nowhere close to being like even touched. There's a lot of things in my life that I want to do and haven't done, and you know, I take this perspective that it's destined. It's all in God's plan. That's what's supposed to happen or not happen.
It's like there's almost like everything's supposed to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
feel
an injury.
Protected. Yeah.
Like I used to always think like I should take this as a good thing because like if I didn't get injured now, what if I got injured during like a big game?
Yeah.
Or, like that's how I used to think of it. You know, like everything happens for a reason. Or I think I told someone else the other day about. You go into your car, right? You're about to go to class. You go into your car and you're like, dang, I forgot my wallet. But then that day you decide not to go into your house and get your wallet. So you get like into a car accident, right?
And you don't have it.
Yeah, but then like let's say in another universe, you were like, you went to go get your wallet, but now you missed that car accident. You know what I mean? Like everything happens for a reason. I feel like, well, because there's those dark times where you're like, well, man, why did God do this to me, or why did this happen? And not even we know the answers to all of that. So I just feel like everything will happen. It's already happened.
Yeah, there's been so many instances where I challenge God, and I'm like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Especially when I was, younger. I'm still young, but when I was younger.
When I was younger, as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I was younger. I was 21 years old. No, that was
an hour ago.
A couple months ago. When I was younger, especially when I got injured, I was pissed off. And everything happens for a reason, like we're sitting here saying. And so I learned a lot of things. You learn a lot of things through, instead of challenging and getting upset, you can learn a lot of things through trying to understand why they're happening. Not too deep to where you drive yourself crazy.
Not like judging the moment.
Yeah, no, but there's a lesson to be learned in everything. Like when I got hurt, my ACL, I'm almost 100% sure I had a quad injury a couple weeks before that happened. Didn't let it fully rehab. Was young, wasn't in the training room. I'm almost 100% sure that's why I tore my ACL.
Well, it's because of your quad.
Quad was weak. It was visibly smaller than the other side of my quad, and so I learned a lesson from that. I need to get in the training room. Yeah.
Yep. Dang, you're gonna scare me.
I mean, that's yeah. There's a lesson to be learned in everything. I mean, you could go down the list of all kinds of things. So
yeah, because I like what you said, that everything happen, like everything that's already happened is like in fate, like in God's fate. So do you believe in like coincidences, or do you believe in like, you know what I mean? Like if we're talking about something right now on the podcast, and then tomorrow someone from the stands talks to you about something, like, man, I like your story. It's like a weird, like, oh, whoa. Like the story's not even posted, and he's talking about something. Yeah,
I don't believe in coincidence at all.
You don't?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
I've had a couple instances, man.
Let me hear a coincidence.
The most recent one I can remember is on this trip. I gave it's funny. I'm laughing about it because
you gave the $3.
Yes, I was upset about the $3. Right, so I gave a homeless guy outside the Chipotle $3.
$30?
No, $3. Okay. $3. 3 ones. I gave him 3 ones.
Yeah, what could he spend with $30?
And, yeah, for some reason I had kept telling myself, God tells us to love each other. And so
love your neighbor by yourself.
Yeah, for some reason it told me, I was like, I'm going to give this guy $3. I get into the car, the van, after giving him that verse comes up on my Bible app. It pops up in the van right after that happened. And I was upset. When I got home. I was like, I don't have $3 to go to the vending machine. I can't get my damn M&Ms.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Josh. With Josh in the van. We were in the van. I gave him some of my like sweet tart ropes or whatever, and something else. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something about loving yourself like you, or loving others like you would love yourself. It was like something else. Same exact thing came up again, and I was like,
nah, your phone is
those are just 2 examples, but there's a lot of things of coincidence that things just don't just happen like that. It's a sign of something, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Dev in the last episode about the book that I'm reading. And I've already talked about this book 3 times. But it's the book that I was reading where you're looking at me at the airplane. And you just saw me like kind of put it away. That's the book I was reading. And the beginning, it talks about like these insights. And I just love it because it's like a spiritual guide book. But not, I think it's a Christian point of view. I'm pretty sure. But I haven't got to the end. And some people live through these insights. And one of the insights is coincidences and how you should follow these coincidences when they're happening. Because like the phone thing that you're talking about, that means like you're on a right path of like a reminder, like good job. Not a good job, like pat on the back, Eli, but like you're doing your duty. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do on this earth.
To be done, yeah.
Like, okay, you play basketball, you're an athlete, and we're on a trip, and we're on a trip for free. You don't have to give money to an homeless, but you decided to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Because we go on these little adventures at night and go get a snack and stuff.
Yeah.
But now you don't have that money, and it's like a sacrifice for you. But I take coincidences as like I'm on this path to whatever it is at the end of the world. Like for me, it's heaven, and I'm just taking this path slowly and surely. And when coincidences like that happen, like good coincidences, that I'm like, okay, I'm here, and that he's watching in a way, like he's protecting. And I just enjoy that, because if I would have saw that verse, I would have been like sending it to my dad and being like, hey, look at this. It's like it's just a good feeling to go through of, I don't know. But I just liked how the book explained it like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool perspective and thing to think about. Like, that's your reminder. Those coincidences aren't coincidences. They're the reminders, and it's almost like the acknowledgement to you. And
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I feel like as a society and as a world that we're going farther away from just helping the other person out.
Yeah.
Like, when do you ever see two teammates right here talking on a podcast about your struggles, what you went through? Like, there's things that I'm learning about you right now that I didn't know. And it's just weird to, like, I get to do this. Because now 5 years from now or a year from now, I get to hear this. And I'm a coach and you're still playing. Like, I get to be like, man, I missed that trip.
Yeah.
Like, I missed the trip that we were just on. Or now I get to remember the story of you talking about the homeless person giving $3 to.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a special trait. Because, like, let's say from a year from now, I give a homeless person and the podcast pops up. Like, I think that would be, like, a coincidence. And me talking about it right now, like, we're talking to ourselves.
Yeah, your future self is listening to this right now.
Right now.
Zach,
and
you're
yours is
doing
too.
Great.
Yours is too, like the struggles you're talking about. And let's just say from a year from now, you're like, man, why was I even worried about that?
Yeah.
So,
Future Zachary.
Future Zachary and future Eli. I'll be seeing you in the hallway.
Good. Yeah.
I'll see you in the hallway with my phone out.
Yeah.
Telling you, remember this podcast?
Yeah, you
and
remember
it'll
this?
be like,
do you remember this?
It'll be like the 8th episode, 9th episode.
You better remember this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hopefully, yeah. So I think that's just pretty special on why I wanted to start a podcast. And just coincidences of, like, coincidences, this, that, but God laid a plan, and I don't know. I think I'm rolling with it, and I like it because I get to hear your guys' stories. Because we talk a lot as a team, but when do we ever record it? Like, that's the big bummer for me. I've had so many conversations with my teammates, and I'm just like, 5 years from now, I'm not going to remember it. So now I'm going to, take it to heart and be like, man, I missed that.
Yeah.
And I missed the opportunity. And hopefully have you guys on again in the future of talking about it.
For sure.
So, yeah. So, last question that I want to kind of get into. We have enough time. I think like 8-9 minutes.
Okay.
And earlier you were telling me about your little childhood. But you can answer it any way you want. Because I liked what you were talking about, because I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
And I know for sure people aren't going to know that about you. But basically, I end the podcast talking about what is something you wish I had asked you. And you could talk about what I'm talking about right now. So the audience is like, man, just tell us.
Just tell us, please.
Yeah. And then you can go in your own thing. So basically what I'm asking is, what do you wish that I had asked you? And you can be as selfish as you want. Like, why didn't you ask me about my dunk? Like, because you're going to answer your own question. So take it as you want. And
I think I'll go with what we were talking about earlier.
Okay. You can go into something else too if we have time.
Childhood wise, I guess I was experimenting with a lot of things like you're supposed to as a kid, right?
Good things.
Things.
Yeah, people are going to be like, oh, what is he going to?
Yeah, no.
What were they talking about?
my mom and dad both said I was the golden child, and I'm putting up air quotes because I guess I can believe them because I was too young to remember.
Yeah, I mean, they only called you versatile.
Yeah. So I was a great kid growing up, and so I was very adventurous, tried many different things. One of the things as I was growing up to, it's probably about maybe 8 or 9 is we started roller skating like consistently. So
you did this as a family, or did you do this?
Yeah. I was living with my mom mostly at the time.
Yep.
I was still seeing my dad all the time, but my dad had came roller skating a couple of times as well. And we were going to a place called Rolero.
Yep.
Rolero out forgot what the cross streets are. I think you know a little bit of Rolero,
Yeah,
right?
because I used to go there as like the church camp, like
Yeah.
I was telling you.
Yeah, Rolero was.
But
the
recently
spot.
it fell down.
Yeah.
We were thinking that it's we'll see it after.
Yeah.
But we were thinking that because that big flood, our freshman or sophomore year of high school, when no one went to school that day, I think that's when it came down.
Yeah.
Because there was like no support, so
Yeah.
the rain just really took it out. So yeah, go ahead.
So we were going there for quite a bit of time. I was obviously pretty young at the time. I don't really remember the first time like we went. Unfortunately, I was too young. But I do remember as I got older, I started getting my own pairs of skates. We were getting closer with the floor guards and the owners and the snack bar lady.
Yep.
Like we were getting close with everybody because we were going every single weekend, every Saturday from 2 to 4.
Yep.
That
It was like
the
a
session.
bonding for you guys.
Yeah, that was just something we did all the time. Had birthday parties there. We had everything was there. So growing up, obviously I was getting pretty good at roller skating, which was a lot of fun. That was something we would look forward to every single weekend. And a lot of people wouldn't know. I mean, I was a really good roller skater.
Yeah, because I can't believe you. I know you
Yeah.
could dance good, but
Yeah.
I was like, I could see you on roller skating. I think.
Yeah, I was out there. I was a juke skater.
Yeah,
I
because
was
no
a-
one will see you on the court right now and be like, "Oh, he can roller skate."
Yeah, there's
like that's
no way
something
he's
that's
roller
out of.
skating. No way his 6'5"
They see us as
frame.
like jocks and
Yeah.
not on the roller rink.
Yeah, at the time, I was pretty young, but I was close with the floor guards, and the floor guards were giving me, the juke jam lessons after skating. So I was learning how to, dance on skates. I was helping them do all kinds of stuff, set up parties, giving them ideas for all kinds of stuff. And so growing up, that was something that was always really fun. And then when the freaking roof collapsed, like that sucks. That's awful. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Yeah,
But
you were actually in the roller skate.
yeah, I was actually
in there.
in there. I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
No,
They
but-
told me to keep the support up, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't do it after that. But
So you flooded.
yeah, I wish that place was still up. I had tried out other places like Great Skate and never
Just
really
not the
just
same.
stuck. Yeah, so I mean, I still have my skates and they somehow still fit me. That's how big my feet were when I was young.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, how do your feet fit?
I wear a size 14.
Yeah.
The skates are 13 and a halves. No, 13, sorry. Somehow they fit me. I don't know how they fit me.
Is it leather?
Yeah,
It
it
probably-
is. It must have stretched at least.
Yeah, the sun.
I untied the laces a little bit, so
yeah.
I think I'm gonna start getting back into roller skating. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be a
gonna
little
start
hobby.
seeing TikToks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little hobby outside.
Ring light on the roller rink.
Yeah, outside of putting the hoop in or putting the ball in the hoop. You might see me roller skating.
down fast break layup with two.
Yeah, it'll
With
be
the
me.
quad.
It'll be hitting the hockey stop on the baseline.
Yeah.
I could probably dunk off skates. Should I try that? That's a good TikTok idea. I
think
doubt
that-
I could jump that high and land. No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
you could even jump.
I could jump.
But think about, I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. Please don't do it.
That's a TikTok idea. You can show me a TikTok idea.
Yeah, but imagine a TikTok
Hopefully,
idea.
I do it before this airs, so nobody steals my idea.
Yeah.
Because
No, I'm actually going to post it right now.
I've never seen somebody dunk on roller skates. At least I haven't.
Yeah, but I've never really seen any roller skate. I mean, I guess For You pages are very distinct to who you are.
I really don't see many roller skaters. I've seen a couple at the beach.
Now that we're talking about it, watch, my phones are both our phones, and we're going to send it each
I'm
other.
gonna see so many roller skating things.
Yeah.
tonight. That's crazy.
Because I always like seeing the old people. Like, I've seen it once.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was part of, like, remember Stranger Things came out with the whole roller skate?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing, like, oh, they're trying to bring back a trend of, because no one really goes to the rinks anymore. It's like usually kids.
Mm-hmm.
And like back then with our parents, how they used to, like, that was the date nights, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I wasn't really a good skater myself. I was always they used to make fun of me. I was in student council, and I used to use 1 foot. I was like the 1 foot pusher.
You're the 1 foot pusher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to go back. Like, we were talking about this, like, at the end of the season, we should all go roller skating.
We should.
You know, like, dance to, like, Major Distribution.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm trying to get into, you know, Major Distribution. And then I'll be like, ooh, you know, I'll do handstands.
I'll teach you how to rhythm skate.
What I really want to do is undercut Jace, though.
Oh, my
I want to
gosh.
undercut Jace on the roller rink. Hit him with a hard screen.
Hard screen. Le pepe.
Yeah. Oh, I
Screen,
don't know if
though.
we're supposed to.
Or
End it. But yeah, I just think that was pretty cool because I never, you know, a bunch of our teammates did stuff, and you start talking about roller skating. I was like, this.
Yeah.
Eli's on something. He's definitely messing around. He's
Yeah.
never.
I can't wait. You catch me on the TikTok doing some roller skating tricks.
Yeah, because I've roller skated, but I wasn't into it like you were, getting your own skates. You know, I was the person that rented, waiting in line, you know, or drinking an icy, watching everyone skate.
I was making fun of those people. I can't lie.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I was probably there like,
yeah, you might have been there. What if you were there? We were both going there.
Yeah, because I wasn't always there, but like
Saturdays.
That
was
that's
the day
place.
I always went.
Yeah, because I used to live in Glendale. So it was around there.
Yeah.
And definitely my church used to always make us go because my church is in Avondale. So until a church they made a great skate near our church. It was next to like an Office Max. And yeah, because there was like a bolero that we used to go to. And it was either bowling, movies, or skating. And I used to love when we used to go skating. Yeah. But I used to get made fun of because I was the 1 foot pusher. I didn't know how to do that like gliding thing. Yeah. And then they do like the back foot goes into the front to like turn. I'm like, that is so sick, and I can't do that. Recently, I've been getting into skateboarding, but
see, you'd show me up on that. I can't skateboard.
You can't skateboard?
Not at all,
dude. I
can't even jump on the damn thing.
No, dude, it's easy.
Oh, there's no way it's easy.
No, but I'm on a longboard, so I guess that makes it easier.
Yeah, like I can't even stand on it and let it go for like 5
Oh, me too.
feet
It took me like a week. But the thing that my family makes fun of me is I go through eras. Like my sister and my girlfriend say, "You're going through another era," and this is an era that they're saying, podcast era.
Podcast era.
Because I go into stuff and I don't finish it, so I'm telling them right now that when I like I was saying, I'm proving them wrong.
Do it.
Like by the time I'm done with this, it's gonna be like 27th episode.
Leave them in the dust.
Yeah, I was like me and Eli. But yeah, because the skateboard is like in the corner of my room, just like collecting dust. Because I was on that like all of January, so.
Hop back on that thing. Make it take
Hop back on that thing.
Hop back on that thing.
I'm gonna stat my GoPro on the bottom of it. I try to put my dog because English bulldogs can I guess skate. So I'm trying to put my dog on it, but he doesn't like. Yeah, we were doing tricks in the house and I put a hole in the wall. I forgot to say that. But
why'd you do that?
I went to go show my sister a trick that I did, and as she was talking to me, I was talking to her, and it slipped. But my chancla got stuck on the paper, like you know that weird material.
Like material on it,
yeah. And I got stuck, so I fell, and the thing went straight into the wall, and there's just like a circle on the wall. So my dad says I'm gonna have to pay for that. Yeah. So hopefully people are watching the podcast, and I'm able to afford that in the future.
I hope, man.
So yeah, anything you want to get off your chest before we end this?
Nah, man. I mean,
was it fun?
You
like it?
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Yeah. I see this going a long ways.
I hope.
I see you growing like rapidly.
Yeah, I hope.
That's what I see.
I hope we manifest as a team.
Yeah.
Like, we just all pray in one room like, please.
Yeah. We'll add it to our coaches huddle.
But like I try to make it a point to like have my teammates on it first because, I mean, I'm with you guys every day. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you want to? You know, I feel like that would just be rude. Be like, oh, I'm not gonna have you guys on. So I made it a point.
Guarantee you got all of our support. I feel like it's gonna blow up. So.
Yep, and I hope so. And I hope that I take it as like not like a second income, but just a thing that I could back on and build networking. So, and you're helping me in that. So
I see it. I can literally like vision you in a nice fat studio.
So you want to
with Joe Rogan?
You want to put your Instagram real quick?
Yeah,
you have to say it real quick. Or your TikTok. You want to do your TikTok?
Yeah, it's just E Simmons Too Fine.
E Simmons Too Fine.
Yeah.
TOO.
TOO.
Not
fine.
two.
Yeah.
Okay.
E Simmons Too Fine.
And then Elijah Simmons on Instagram.
Yeah, same as the TikTok. E Simmons Too Fine.
Okay.
You can find me both of those.
So TikTok E Simmons Too Fine and Elijah Simmons on Instagram.
You'll catch me roller skating.
And if you made it this far, thank you for listening and enjoying the episode of Elijah Simmons and Zachary Aird. Follow this podcast's Instagram at Zachary's_Metamorphosis, where the E is a 3 and the 2 O's are zeros. Once again, Zachary_Metamorphosis. Thank you for listening, and remember to always come back to the breath.